Hi everyone, this is Abel, welcome back to my channel. It's time for a book haul. But before we start, remember that if you enjoy science fiction and fantasy books, this is the perfect place for you. So consider subscribing, leave a like, leave a comment, and please share this video with your friends. Thank you. Now, I usually do my unboxings on Instagram, so if you want to see the book spring out from the parchments, from the packages, you should totally check out my Instagram account, a little bit on TikTok too. I'm still trying to understand what I'm going to upload on that platform. I'm really active on X too, so follow all of those accounts. But if you want to see the right moment, exactly the moment when I open up the package and the book comes out, comes into the world and begins to breathe. So here I'll just show you the books and I'll give you a little bit of a synopsis. If I have read the books, I will point you to the review that I uploaded on this exact channel or on Goodreads too. The first book I'm going to show you is The Winds of Change, the first book in the Elements of Time series by Sam Paisley. A very kind follower here on this channel pointed me to the fact that the surname is actually pronounced Paisley and not Paisley, as I said. That's my Italian brain, that works that way. I reviewed this last week in my last video and it was a blast. It's one of the best books I have read during the last couple of months. It was extremely satisfying. And you should go and check out that review because it's very long, very detailed and very enthusiastic. I absolutely suggest you to go and give it a try. This is actually a present from the author. Even if I'm mostly an ebook reader by now, because it's easier for me to sneak out a few reading sessions during my very busy day with ebooks, but I still cherish the experience of actually reading a book in hard copies. The experience of flipping the pages, smelling to the book, and actually in trying to create a very cozy and very welcoming environment. I put music, I use my computer, I try to have reference pics with my fantasy cast and picture trying to show the environment, the architectures and everything else. Because this book is very cinematic, it has impressive visuals. This is something that will shine on a streaming platform, on a very high budget, very long TV show, maybe on Apple TV Plus. So Mr. Apple, if you're listening to this video, of course you're not, but this is a blockbuster in hiding. It is a very nice story, it is very character driven, it is very political, there's a lot of political scheming down this. It has a huge scope, huge set pieces, great action, and a very intense and very emotionally charged ending. So you should totally check it out. And Sam, I'm so grateful because this book looks amazing and I'm very proud to have this one in my personal library to show it off, and I'm very happy, I'm very grateful, and you should totally check it out. And then I have for you The Faded Dragon by Cameron Michaels. This one is a present from the author too. I had this book in my TBR, of course the ebook edition. Most of those books are on Kindle Unlimited too, so if you're a subscriber to that service from Amazon and Kindle, you can check out all of those books risk-free. But when he reached out and asked me if I wanted to read a hard copy, of course I try to say always the same thing to independent authors. I say I don't need a hard copy. If your book piqued my interest, I'm going to read it anyway. I will try to read it on an ebook or on Kindle Unlimited, of course. So because I understand how expensive it can be to market a book and to try and give it a little bit of visibility and to garner a few reviews that are so vital, because up and coming authors that don't have a huge marketing budget, they really struggle sometimes to have feedbacks from their book. So I always say the same thing: if you want it, if you want to do it, and if you have the budget to send a hard copy, especially because I live from the other side of the world, if compared to many others, because I'm in Italy, of course. It can be really expensive to sell those books. But a few authors, especially Sam gave me this idea, find a way to send me books in a very non-expensive way, because I can put them on my wish list on my Italian Amazon account. So for many books like this, they're print on demand. The pricing of the shipment, it is part of the Prime subscription. So the author that is sending me this is just paying for the price of the book, not from the shipment. So I'm very happy, because I don't want authors to think that they're obliged, that they need, and it is not compulsory to send me hard copies of their book. If they want to do it because they look good, because they're very well produced, like this one that has an amazing cover, I'm happy. If they cannot, I will read the book and I will enjoy the book anyway. So this book looks very good. It is very, very handsome, you see. I think the cover is from, let me see, I suspect I know who this cover. It's Felix Ortiz, of course. How could it be not? It is his special brush. You see that kind of artistic sensibility. Once you've seen a cover from Felix Ortiz, you're going to recognize all the other covers. This is an epic fantasy story that has a very peculiar take on dragons and on elves and on half dragons. There's actually a race of half dragon, half elven people, and I've been reading this right now. I think I will finish it next week. I'll give you a proper review, but it is very bizarre but very good too. It has a nice pacing. The middle section, it actually has this ticking bomb, a clockwork bomb, like it's something big is going to happen, and the chapter tells you 4 days to this event, 3 days to this event, day of the event. I think it's around the 40% of the book. A huge something happened and everything changed. This is really interesting. It has a very, very complex and very deep lore. I'm very fascinated. I'm hoping to give you I'll be able to give you a proper review during the next week. You should totally check it out because it is beautiful, and I'm very, very grateful to Cameron for deciding to send me a hard copy of this. The next is Sealed Empire by Norbert Živić. One day I will pronounce that surname in the correct way. Norbert, please forgive me. I love you. This book is amazing. This is a science fantasy book that mix a little bit of hard sci-fi, really mind-bending, and epic fantasy, really classic, really classical medieval fantasy. It's an odd mix, but it kind of works kind of well because the book is very, very gripping, and it asks you a lot of questions. You'll have a lot of questions trying to understand what's actually going on, and it has a very powerful aesthetic because it mixes those creatures that are actually monsters made by iron and steel, very highly advanced technologically. People don't understand what they are. They think they're leviathans, they're like dragon, like mythical creatures. And you'll ask yourself, why do we have that kind of creature in a medieval setting? And I'm not telling you. It has a very nice plot twist at the ending. I actually won this copy on a giveaway. I'm very lucky sometimes. But it's a very nice edition, and the book is very fascinating, very fast, very gripping. It's short and sweet. You'll finish it in a couple of sittings. It is one of the best books I've read during the last couple of months. Go check it out. A novella from Joshua Walker. This is a present from Joshua. I have read this on Kindle, but I wish I had read it on the hard copy because it is very well formatted. It looks amazing. The matte finish is very good. The cover is very gripping, very mysterious. What it is this golden orb? What does it mean? What's going on? It was a very fun, very deep read. And Joshua was able to cram so much in that short amount of pages, in that short page count. This is an epic fantasy story that is kind of a prequel to the actual novel that will see the light of day during 2024, I'm pretty sure, yeah. And it covers a substantial amount of time, more than 100 years. We follow Nishia, and we have her going on a mission to be part of a large conflict, and while she's traveling we have flashback to the early days of her becoming part of this organization of very powerful people. This has a very powerful and very deep and interesting world building, because it is about, especially this novella, because I'm pretty sure that the rest of the series will span multiple countries, but the protagonist of this novella, she's a citizen of a country that lives on a tree, on a massive tree that spans and covers for many hundred kilometers on miles, and covers an entire country. It is very strange, very interesting, very original. I don't think I have ever seen anything like this, and I'm very envious of the abilities of Joshua to read so much and in such an impactful way in a very short amount of pages. I guess we will have novella, book, so this is just one, is the first of many novellas, hopefully, that we'll have in this world, and I'm pretty eager to see how the story will go on in the actual books. This is The Rest to the Gods by Joshua Walker. The Forsaken Planet by Brian Wilson. This is a chunker of a book, a brick of a book, an improper weapon, we should say in Italy. A science fantasy book that I loved so much, even if I struggled at the beginning, which this became some kind of a joke between me and Brian, because he always remembered me how shocking it was for him to get kind of 20-25 voice notes on his Instagram account when I was asking a lot of questions, and I was asking him, why did you do this? What's going on? Why did you decide to go that way with those characters? What does that scene means? Why are you doing this? And then I was very happy that I held on the book, that I decided to power through, because I discovered a beautiful story with a huge scope, with very reliable and relatable characters, with a very powerful ending. This is something that should benefit of a visual representation too, on a graphic novel, on a movie too, because we need those kind of stories, so deep, so emotionally charged. This is a beautiful book about a guy that discovers that we're not alone in the universe, that there are other human beings that have colonized other planets, and that Earth, yeah, it's at the center of a huge intergalactic conflict, and that he has to do something to save Earth and possibly resolve that conflict. It is a very nice story with a very powerful aesthetic, with very interesting characters, as I told you. I have a read review in this channel. Go check it out, and absolutely go buy this chunker of a book. Look at this. Look at this. This is beautiful. This is Stone and Sky by Z.S. Diamanti. And I don't care if the guy is second generation Italian American, and if everybody says Diamanti and everything else. It's Diamanti, okay? I am the one who knows the exact pronunciation this time, okay? It's Diamanti. And he's a gem of a guy. He's endlessly funny. If you follow his TikTok account, his Instagram account, he has this kind of chaotic energy. He's an entertainer. It is very energetic in the way that he speaks, and the passion he pours into his books. It's so evident and it's so engaging. This is a very classic high fantasy sword and sorcery book, and the synopsis is about a griffin rider. This guy, that it's the only survivor to a very bloody battle, and he has to team with a bunch of unlikely allies to stop an invasion. And I'm so pumped. I can't wait to read this. I haven't read it just because I have commitments. I have to review a couple of other books just before to read this, but I know it will be a blast. The book looks good, very good, and it is very nicely formatted on the inside. I have pictures on my Instagram account about this, but something I'm going to show you just a little bit right now, because I wanted to see you right now how very well done it is. Take a look at this. Yeah, it's not that easy to find that kind of very nice formatting, even if in traditionally published book. This one is one of the best self-published book I have ever seen in my life, just from a production standpoint. And I'm pretty sure the story will be amazing. I will tell you more when I actually finish to read it. And Mr. Diamanti was so kind to make another present for me. This one is a collection. It's numbered 0. It's a collection of prelude stories and shorter stories set in the same world. Yeah, it looks amazing. Who is she? I'm so curious. Yeah, I can't wait to read this. And thank you, Mr. Diamanti. I'm so proud to show off those books in my library. And now a couple of traditionally published books. This one needs no introduction, is the book that wouldn't burn by Mark Lawrence. This is an epic fantasy story that has kind of a mystery surrounding a very special library. I haven't read it yet, but I can't wait to read it, because everybody says that this is a masterpiece, that the writing style is amazing, that it is full of plot twists, with great characters. And the second book is really close. I think it's been published in a couple of months maybe, and the cover for that one is equally stunning to this one. I mean, look at this. This looks so good. And it is shiny just because I wrap those books in mylar, because I want them to look good forever, but it doesn't have this shiny finish when you buy it. It has a nice contrast between the matte finish and the laminated gold here. It is so beautiful, so beautiful. I can't wait to read this. The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Shue. This is a Asian-inspired epic fantasy story with a nice twist on the Chosen One trope. It has an amazing edition. Look at that cover, look at the artwork. This is beautiful. Yeah, my designer mind can't stop buying this kind of books because they look beautiful. The finished product is something that will make you happy just by having it on your library. Even if it will take you 3 or 4 years to read it, it will make you happy. Look at this. Can't wait to read this one too. And then we have She Who Rides the Storm by Caitlin Stengster. This is an epic fantasy / heist story of a group of people that are trying to infiltrate and steal something from a sacred tomb. So maybe it has some kind of Indiana Jones vibes too, I don't know. This is a very nice cover, a very nice edition. This is the first one in a duology. I still haven't had the chance to put my paws on book 2, but I will do it absolutely before the end of the year, and I can't wait to give you a proper review of this book. Yeah, it looks amazing. Then I have the last 2 books in the Grishaverse by Lee Bardugo. This is King of Scars and Rule of Wolves. For now, they're the last 2 books in the Grishaverse series. I think we are going to have at least another 2 books, maybe 3. You should have another 2 books, and especially one about the crows, the protagonist of Six of Crows and Crypt Kingdom. They're one of my favorite fantasy, 2 of my favorite fantasy books of all time. They introduced me to the concept of a heist story. This is actually one of those used books that I resurrected because it was very cheap, but it was because it has a broken spine, a broken hardback on the inside. It was very difficult to try and to make it look good again, but I think I kind of succeed. Yes, poor book. It went through hell and I hope I'm giving it another life, a second life. I think this book is about one of the secondary characters from the original trilogy. I haven't read Shadow and Bone, and I have very little interest in reading those, but I should do it. I should give it a try, because I'm a completionist, and I really like this universe, the whole world building, and a couple of those characters, especially the crows, so hoping to have another story about those. This should be about Nikolai, I think, yes. And it's very interesting because I like that world. I love that world. It is the Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom duology was so very well written, and I think it deserves more recognition between adult readers. Because even if that one is technically young adult, it doesn't sound like young adult. I have nothing against young adult books. I actually enjoy to read something easier and a little bit lighter that helps you to have some kind of a palate cleanser in between huge tomes. I know that many adult readers, they don't see it that way. They really shun, they frown upon young adult literature. I'm not one of those. I think that a good book is a good book, despite any kind of target audience. A good book should be read, should be enjoyable for any kind of audience. Of course, that doesn't comprehend young people reading something that it's not appropriate for that age range, but we are talking of adults here. I don't think it is very fair to criticize adult readers that enjoy something that it is meant to be read by younger audiences, because if your line of thought is that one, maybe you're getting old in the bad way. Maybe we're all getting old in a bad way. We should be able to enjoy young adult and middle grade literature even if we are older too, because good books are good books. That's all, and bad books are bad books. That's all. And now let me show off a couple of special editions. I don't think you have those in the US. Those are Italian edition of something that really needs no introduction. It is very heavy, so try to be sure. This is the first trilogy in the Shannara series by Terry Brooks, with an amazing illustration. Look how beautiful it is. And I am guilty. I have never read the Shannara series. Not this, the first trilogy, not the other one, the second one. I think those are the core series that you should read, but the rest is very long. And if you have read all the 20 plus books that made all of that world, just tell me if I should commit to read all of those. Let me know what you think about it, and let me show you the second one. These are huge. Yeah, this is incredibly huge, but they're beautiful too. Yes, I'm very proud to have those on my library because they look amazing. Take a look at the illustration. Wow. I can do this with just one hand. This is a bind up of the first original trilogy from Red Rising. I read this and I really hated it when I first read it in another edition in Italy a few years ago. But everybody says that the second trilogy is amazing. It's kind of a miracle because every book is better and better. Yeah, I should give it another try. I bought this because it's a very nice edition. It has illustration by Magali Villeneuve at the inside. I cannot show you because it is impossible to do with one hand, and my arm hurts. That's all I've got for you today. I have a ton of books on my Kindle too, but I think I will do a separated video just for those, because many authors, they've been so kind to send me arcs for their books. So many of the reviews you'll see will be from ebooks I'm reading right now, but this video is too long, my arms hurt and I am going out of voice because I'm just now recovering from a very harsh and very hard hitting cold. Thank you for being here. Thank you. If you've seen the entire video, you're a champion. Thank you very much. If you want to see more videos, reviews, another book haul and wrap-ups, the best books I have read during 2023, all the books I'm pumped about 2024, you have more videos here, right here. Thank you again for being here. Remember that if you enjoy science fiction and fantasy books, especially space opera and epic fantasies, this is the right channel for you. So consider subscribing, leave a like, comment, share this video. Thank you again. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.